All right, welcome back to the transformation piece. We are going to jump down to option 2, which is a cartoon to a human. So let's scroll down. All right, here we are. So you've already done class 1 from that first video where you brainstormed and you worked on your 2 sketches. So we looked at some examples and let's work now on class 2. Today you're going to work on your transformation. I know it's really hard to think about how you would do that, but you're actually going to work on, like if you're doing Sonic, making him into what he would look like as a person, right? Actually doing the transformation. So I'm giving you 2 full class periods to do this because I think it's really important to have enough time to make sure that you do a great job. You're going to have some really weird and odd looking drawings, and that's fine. It's all part of the process. So I have 2 methods to talk to you about today to help you through this process. So method 1 is going to be to draw a semi-realistic person just roughly. Okay, so kind of just draw a person. You can look at a picture of someone if you want to, that's fine. And then just start turning their features into the cartoon character you chose. So for example, if we're looking at Sonic, right, he obviously doesn't look like a person. So this person chose an anime person. So they drew an anime person first, and then they started adding Sonic-like hair, muscles, Sonic-like outfit. He's a ring with his gloves on. So you want to think about adding things like that. This one, right? This person just drew a person, and then they worked on, okay, Patrick's kind of has a belly, so we're going to make this guy have a belly. So he's eating, so it's going to eat. They have his little shorts, turn that into a jacket for him. So you can do that as well. All right, or you can work on method 2, drawing the cartoon character, then changing their characteristics like eyes, nose, mouth, etc. into a more realistic resemblance. So you could kind of do it the other way. You could draw Patrick and then start changing him into a person. Like, what would he look like? So when you do either of these methods, you want to work on like drawing him out really lightly, because you know you're going to erase, draw on top of this. You know, it's going to be a hot mess, which is fine. It's how it's supposed to be. But make sure you do it light so you can kind of see what you're doing on top of it. The same thing here. Well, that one you can't really see both. But like this one, if you're going to draw Lady and the Tramp for method 2, just draw them just like this, just roughly, because it's not going to look like that when you're done, right? And then start changing them into human characteristics. Again, you don't want to copy any of these, right? You can do these same characters, but don't just copy this. Someone's done this. Do them in a different setting, a different time, a different place, something like that. Make them look different. And again, I'm giving you 2 days to work on this because I know it's really, really tricky. So keep working at it. Your first, second, third tries are probably going to be pretty awful, and that's okay. It's the process, all right? All right, great luck, teachers. We're going to start at 3:25 for our next video. All right, our next class is going to be practicing with the media, class 4. Today we are going to work on finishing those transition and transformation pieces and making sure that you're ready to practice with the media. So hopefully you finished those. Today you're going to work on practicing with the media. So I suggest, pencil, color pencil, pen, marker, something like that that you can work with, and practice some different techniques in your sketchbook today, okay? A lot of times people just outline and fill in, but that's not really the best way to use your media. So let me show you an example. So if we're looking at this Sonic feature, okay, and let's say you're going to use color pencils and you're going to color in his hair, okay? You want to find the lightest color, not the white. You would map that out and keep it white, but you'd find the lightest blue, this one, right? So you kind of have 3, or really 4 blues in this one, but this shadowed area can just be one layer of that color. Okay, but this color would be the light blue, and then you'd have your medium blue, and then this color that looks black is actually going to be a really dark blue, so that would be your 3 different blues. This light blue you're going to start with, and you're going to color all of the hair blue, whether it is the dark blue, the medium blue, or that blackish looking color. So I would color every area here in with this lightest blue. Then I would go in and grab the medium blue, and on top of what's already light underneath there, this light blue, I would add that medium blue on top, okay, everywhere, even where it's black or looks black. Then I would grab my darkest blue, and you might need to grab some black on top of this, depending on what it looks like, and then I would go over this. So for example, this would be 1, 2, maybe just 3 layers to get it this nice rich blue, and then all over. And then this one would have more layers on top of this color, and then this area would have even more layers on top to make it look like this. You want to kind of add black as a last resort because it can look very different if you're just doing it on white paper. So make sure you've added a lot of layers and build them up slowly. Think about what would be underneath it. Like I wouldn't just go in with this color. I would do this color underneath it and then put this on top, and that's what's going to make it look really good. All right, so that's class 4, practice with the media. Make sure that you are using your sketchbook, your notebook, whatever you're using for art. Make mistakes there so you don't have to do it on your final piece. All right, we'll be right back for class 5. Teachers, that'll be at 6 minutes and 10 seconds. All right, welcome to class 5, sketching out the final piece. Today you're ready to sketch out your actual final one. You've practiced sketching it out, you've practiced with the media, so now you're going to choose your paper and make sure you draw light until you get it right. You don't want to have eraser marks on this awesome piece you're about to create. As long as you can see it, it's dark enough. Remember to draw big and really, really zoom in. That's how you're going to be able to get more details. If you look at these examples above, most of these, like some of them have the whole character in, but most of them just have kind of the face and neck. And even Sonic, you know, not even the whole legs. When you zoom in, you get more detail. Same thing with this one. We see all of Patrick, but we just see him down to his pants, right? And that's okay. That's how you're going to be able to get more detail in your piece. So think about that when you sketch it out. All right, work on really getting that done this class. If not, make sure you take it home if you're allowed. Finish it before class 6 will be which will be your self-evaluation. All right, teachers, the next video will be 7 minutes and 20 seconds. All right, welcome to class 6, our self-evaluation. So you've done this before. I'm just going to go over it with you though so you know what to expect. So in your sketchbook, you're going to write down transformation piece rubric. Teachers, you can pause as your students get out their sketchbooks and or notebooks, whatever they're using for class. Number 1, the degree the human looks like the cartoon character. Again, it's not going to be, you know, super realistic, but we want to be able to tell who they are. If you can kind of tell, maybe it's a 20. If you can tell pretty well, it's maybe a 30. And if you can really tell, it's a 40. And again, your piece is not due today. This is class 6, so we obviously have more classes below. This is just for you to look at your piece, evaluate where you are right now so you can see what you can do to improve your work before it's due. So just helpful, be honest. So give yourself a grade out of 40. All right, number 2, degree of interesting mark making and style. So again, this is where we're talking about those awesome marks that you're making that go along with your cartoon character. So any of these lines are marks. The way that we're doing our different, like kind of more squared off or jagged edges, whatever style you chose, that will be your mark making. So give yourself a grade out of 20 based on how you're doing the style of your cartoon. All right, number 3, contrast is achieved with an emphasis on the eyes, and that's out of 20 points. So on this one, we want to focus on looking at the piece, and do you see the eyes first? If you see the eyes first, you're good to go. If not, that means you need to add some more contrast, whether it's darkening up the areas, adding some more color so that it really pops out and stands out as soon as we look at the piece. Since we're doing a person, even though it's a cartoon, we still look at the eyes first, or we should see those first whenever we look at your piece. And that's out of 20, so give yourself a grade out of 20. Number 4 is degree of interest in composition, and this is out of 10 points. Let me go back up here so I can show you again kind of what this is with this simple piece. Instead of Sonic just looking straight at us and being smack dab just right in the center, they moved him over a little bit, right? The main features of him are a little bit offset, and they grabbed his hand to come up this way to fill in that negative space. So it's more interesting. Okay, this would be a 10 out of 10 composition. If it was just smack dab in the center or like very small, just like right here in the middle, that would be like a 0 because it's not interesting. All right, piece is uploaded with an image of the cartoon character and person for number 5, and that's out of 10 points. Your piece isn't done and you didn't do that yet, so everyone should give themselves a 0. That's okay. All right, so take some time, tally up your score, and you're going to give yourself a grade out of 100. Remember, it's not due today, but we want to make sure we know where we are so that we can improve. After you get your number, and teachers, again, you can pause as you need to for your students to catch up, we're going to do our self-evaluation summary. You're going to write these 2 sentences and fill them in based on what you did with your rubric. Right now, I feel my piece is, let's say, for example, I gave myself a 0 here, and a 0 here because my composition's not great yet. I could say I feel my piece is an 80% because my composition needs some work. Notice I added evidence right from the rubric to support my evaluation. It's going to be very important. I can improve the quality of my piece by, don't just say by improving the composition. Well, yes, that is true, but how? How are you going to make it better? So for example, if I did that Sonic piece, I might say, I can improve the quality of my piece by adding Sonic's right hand in some of that empty space to make it more interesting. Okay, so that's how you're going to do your self-evaluation and your summary. All right, awesome. I will do a separate video for class 7 and beyond. I will see you next time.